what kind of word is poppycock? I mean, really? I mean, is that like some kind of
It's like it's like a very
throwback to?
it's like a very gentle way of saying bullshit.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
poppycock is actually like a real food thing. Like you can get
No, that's
poppycock.
poppy
It's
seed.
no. There's a popcorn caramel, uh, fruit, nugget,
Are you
kind of
sure
like
that?
crunch,
Are you
kind of
sure
like
that? Are you sure it
it,
wasn't somebody playing a trick on you?
no, it's
Like
like
like that thing in the popcorn or that thing in the box.
no, it's like dude, it comes from the store like that.
Okay.
It's like Crunch and Munch, but like higher class.
Crunch. Okay. Crunch and
Aye.
munch. Is it like Cracker Jack or something?
Yeah,
Crunch and munch. Yeah.
yeah,
Crunch and munch on my
like fiddle
poppycock.
faddle, Crunch and Munch in my poppycock. It's from Orville.
Phrasing.
It's
Phrasing.
from Orville Redenbacher. Let's see here. It's no joke, man. It's no joke. It's a real
Man,
thing.
I've never heard
No,
of
it's
that.
serious. Very serious. It's a medical. It's a medical situation. You don't mess with that.
Hey.
It's
All
like
right,
I was gonna
evidence.
say it's like cotton candy balls.
Oh,
Cotton
this is
candy
good.
balls.
Yeah. Poppycock.
Poppycock.
Yeah.
Poppycock.
Poppycock.
Now, when I
Wow.
first heard the word poppycock, I thought someone was like, talking about like some incestual fucking word. You know what I mean? It's an
Poppycock.
incest horror. It's poppycock.
Oh dear.
Now do you understand why we unwind? Why I unwind him before we start? Because it could get way worse. I was
Yeah.
coming like that.
It's really sad because this is like my show and I'm like the host and I'm usually the worst.
But
I'm
it
like
is
the
your
most-
show, so you can pretty much do what you want.
I'm like the most undisciplined person on the show, and I'm supposed to be hosting it. That's the worst.
Makes it classic.
Yeah, it does.
So-
It does make every episode a little bit different. That's
But I'm right though that in the UK the word poppycock is also it's used for like like calling you bullshit or something, right?
Mm.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
not used much now.
Yeah, but in the old days. Yeah.
in the olden times. Yeah.
Yeah, now they just call it Dad's dick.
Do
Yeah.
you know why I know
Yep.
that freaking phrase?
Suck it,
Blame Mike Mignola.
Mike Mignola.
And what is it? The screw-on head, the incredible screw-on head.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, and you have the bad guy's like, I say poppycock.
It's a
He like somebody's like, I
poppycock.
call poppycock.
All right, now I gotta ask. Okay, so you are in the UK, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, what's the deal with spotted dick?
It's yeah. It's like a spongy kind of thing
So-
with raisins in it that you have custard on top of.
Yeah, that sounds nothing. How do they name it spotted dick? That's where
Right.
I'm like, it's
Okay,
like the
people-
most unattractive, like tasty thing you could possibly.
I don't know. I think
I think the viewers
Unappetizing.
can predict the direction of this show is gonna get gonna be
Yeah.
heading, right?
I think it has everything to do with the way that we used to have seaside postcards with fat women and small men on them, with very busty women walking past. Do you know anything about the Carry On movies from the 60s from the UK?
The Carry On movies? No,
Basically, it's just titillation and
forgot to send
bad
that.
jokes, and that's pretty much the
Okay,
British
so
sense of
like
humor.
Porkies.
Yeah, but a British version.
Yeah, British Porkies, got it.
Yeah.
The
British porkies.
Okay, yeah, I'm there with you now.
So there's a lot of cackling, bad teeth, and big noses in it.
That's not like porkies.
No, exactly.
Yes,
it's a
it
British
is.
version. I'd know that dick anywhere. You get all the same kind of jokes. It's just a different accent. You know?
I just gave Church a link too. I forgot that I invited him, and then I didn't forget that I invited him, but I forgot to send him a link.
No, just say you forgot to invite him. You
Yeah,
sent him the link, but you forgot to invite him.
I forgot all about him. It's just he's just so forgettable. He's watching right now, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what Gospel
obviously.
Comics is.
He's probably looking at that link, drinking down like 2-3 beers, going, "You fuckers are about to get it."
Oh no, he's probably slamming whiskey right now. If I know church, whiskey or beer? Which is it?
Bourbon.
Bourbon.
It's
Whiskey?
Mike's. It's Mike's hard black cherry.
Oh,
Oh.
we're both wrong.
That's serious.
Yeah. Now,
I
wait. What?
had
It's
the
like
bourbon
black.
before I
Wait,
got
wait.
here.
The hard black cherry.
Yeah.
The hard black cherry. That's 8%, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Is
The
it,
liquor store was closed when I got out of work, so I couldn't.
am I
properly.
right to say that there's supposed to be one that's 12? Because I am I wrong? Because I
Not a
remember seeing one.
Mike's.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Harder used to be 12, but they dropped it.
Because
There
we
was
used to
something
have it here
about
in Canada. Yeah.
Locos. There was something about
Yeah.
Four Locos that
Exactly.
changed the
Yeah.
whole game.
Yep. It was
I heard
micro
I had to come running.
brewery.
You guys were talking about spotted dick, and I just wanted to chime in that dick is delicious, especially when it's spotted.
I thought you were gonna come here and go, Drew. I spot you, or Sim.
We were talking
Whatever.
about
It just doesn't work on me.
We were
if I
talking
do it
about
on
we were
myself.
talking about spotted dick, and his ears were ringing.
That's right.
Ooh.
I thought you
All
guys
right.
might know the cure.
Yeah, it's called poppycock.
Rub some poppycock on your spotted dick. It'll
It will go away.
Does apple cider vinegar work? I heard that works.
Oh, that's that. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
Do it while you're alive, too, please.
You could try some sulfuric acid while you're at it. I mean, I'm sure
Have
that'll
an
get rid of
Now
arrow
you're
something.
just mean.
That'll get rid of something.
Now you're just mean.
Anyway, I heard something about comic books was going to happen here too, so let's get into that.
Now that we've warmed up the audience, let's see here. Why don't we?
Do you mean
stop-
warm up, or you mean we made them run away within 7 minutes?
Yeah, they're like usually gone. Wait, I gotta hold on a second. I gotta redo this without I didn't click the box. I don't
While
know
while
why they
he
don't
gets
just automatically do that.
while he gets that ready, have you guys seen the latest of Mr. Terrific's nonsense from DC?
Nope. I'm not paying too much attention to them, to be honest.
I don't
It was
know.
either Comics Villain or Comics by Perch or somebody put it up on Twitter, and it was just a 2-page from a recent Mr. Terrific book where he's lamenting that he's actually happy that his wife and unborn child died.
What?
Lovely.
Yeah. It's a Tom King book too, so that shouldn't surprise
Shocker.
anybody.
Also, he's projecting like normal Tom King stuff.
Yeah, basically. I like being cucked, and I like the fact that I'm not ready to be a father, even though I'm 40.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's Tom King.
Yeah, because he doesn't
All right,
want
so
to
is it
grow up.
clear now? Okay, that's clear now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah.
All right, so are we in the first 30 or in the second 30?
We're in the second 30.
Okay.
But we got 118%. Let's go!
Yeah.
Well, he's funded, so that means you're going to go in demand, right?
Yeah, I will. Yeah. I wanted to go for the second 30 so I could keep promoting it because I really wanted to get the stretch goals out to people.
Mm-hmm.
No, I hear you. I tend to agree with that.
Yep.
How far along is the book?
I'm 70% through the inks. I've got about 15%, 20% of the colours done. It's all lettered because I have a beta going out to my editor and to the writer, or the dialogue writer.
Sweet.
It's quite a way along. I expect it to go to print in November.
Can you give us the elevator pitch for the book?
Yeah. If you want to scale, if you want to scroll down for me or up to the top. That's it, up to the top. There you go. Only Death Can Save Us is a Bronze Age inspired cosmic fantasy romp, bringing together action and pathos as the ancient elemental known as Death leaps from his ethereal retirement to help a young soul protect her loved ones, a world, and even existence itself. It's cosmic in nature, and it deals with some rather strange views of the way death and the four horsemen are misconstrued throughout our history. But the focus of this book, the focus of this story is about how Death meets Chrissy, as you can see in the 8-page preview, which is up on the campaign, and what happens to them and how they interact with the big bad guy that you'll meet in the book.
This has a little bit of like a mix of 90s comics and even like 70s, 80s feel.
Yeah, that's what it's aimed at. Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Like if
I
Jack
love the
Kirby
artwork.
It's like if Jack Kirby worked at Image.
I was gonna say,
thank you. Yeah.
Is this more like Guardians of the Galaxy, or is this more like New Gods?
Yeah, somewhere in between the two. More towards New Gods, I would say. It's got like a pantheon of elementals in it, and it kind of looks into a lot of sort of quantum reality, multiple universes with a bit of pseudoscience thrown in. I like to listen to a lot of crap on YouTube, and it's fertile ground. You can find so much stuff out there with all the lunatics, and there's just fantastic stuff to put into your books. So I'm very interested in that kind of thing as well, but also I've got a deep love of like Bronze Age comics. So I wanted to bring it all together and put it into the one story. So the book is the first book of a 4-book arc. So
sweet.
The only thing keeping the Bronze Age from being the best age in my view is the fact that Hal Jordan came at the advent of the Silver Age.
Ah, yes.
other than that, Bronze Age reigns supreme when it comes to where we've come with modern comics.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of modern comics. No. I just wanted to bring back that kind of a more innocent storytelling. I like to phrase it as romance, not sex, action, not violence, a hero's journey, not ideology. It's kind of a tao, and it's the way those stories were told. You could get deep things in there, but for an all ages audience, and that's what it was for. You didn't speak down to your audience, so it wasn't like a kid's book. You spoke to the whole audience, and sometimes the stories were a bit cheesy, but they were great fun, and I just loved the pulp nature of them as well.
Yeah, this looks great. This looks really cool. I mean it's like totally like I mean it's fun. I mean it's, you know what I mean, a lot of people go really, really edgy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you're dealing with death, I mean, as your main character. Yeah. So I mean, you'd think it would look edgy, and it actually looks fun, like Saturday morning cartoon fun. Like
thank you. That was exactly what I was about to say. I wanted that Saturday morning cartoon sort of X-Men, Spider-Man feel to it, where there's drama and there's cliff edges and there's fun and action, but at the same time it isn't too dark. It's good fun, and you could give it to kids as well and say, look, there you go, have some fun with that. And definitely all ages. And I just love that period of time. I love that period of comics, and I love the artistry from that time as well. So it seemed to be a natural place for me to go.
Well, it seems to me like the Bronze Age approach is the best way to avoid falling into that deconstructionist like archetype that most comics try to fall through these days. Like, everybody looks at The Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen and they're like, oh, this is the pinnacle of comics. And I'm like, no, the pinnacle of comics is Superman and the Flash having a foot race.
Yeah, I like that.
That depends on the people, dude.
I think there's room for everything. And as a young man, I loved like those deconstructing books, Watchmen and Dark Knight. But while I was getting into those books, I forgot about the all ages stuff that I was, that I grew up on. And I just think that there's room for it all. But from my personal perspective, I didn't see anybody else doing it quite in that way. And it fell into the art style that I kind of made for myself as well. So
Absolutely.
Seemed to be the obvious way to go for me.
And to clarify, I didn't mean that there's no place for deconstructionism. I
No,
just think
no.
it's become the norm, and I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah.
that because not everybody is Frank Miller and Alan Moore.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true. No, and it's good to get variety. That's what hasn't been happening in modern mainstream comics, and what is
Right.
happening in the indie world is just variety. There's just so much
But there's also
energy and ability and creative ability out there. So
in the mainstream, it's also there's people are told what to do, what to
Mm.
draw technically.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. Is like don't tell like it's somebody else who did that like a while back. It's like don't do this, don't write stories about this, and I'm like, dude, don't tell people that. Because
No.
that person that inspired him, to write that, like, there's story that inspired that guy to write that story. Like, he wanted to do a story about, I don't know, a dwarf, right? And he wants to do that comic. Don't tell him that you should start with something else. That's what he's been driven to do. Let him do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so
And-
you call Death D in your book, right?
Yeah, Death doesn't call himself Death particularly. They're names that have been attributed to them. But when he meets Chrissy, the newly departed soul, she nicknames him D in the book, so it humanizes him and adds to that whole aspect of accepting him as a hero rather than this deity that's kind of rather frightening.
I can't wait to get that book.
I love the look, and is there a little bit of Spawn influence that I'm seeing there in the armor? Is that?
Yeah, I
is that
mean,
what-
we all stand on the shoulders of giants, so
Hey.
there's gonna be influences from everyone there. I did
I'm
like
not
Spawn, I have to say, but
I'm not. I love it.
I was looking more to yes, that I have to say yes, of course, but I was trying to kind of get this sort of pantheon of gods feel, and so each one of them has a very different look, and they'll be introduced at different stages of the story over the 4-book arc.
Sweet. Sorry, I got a lot going on in my hands at the same time here.
Yeah, and sorry, I just got my food delivery.
What'd you get?
A&W, double mozza with bacon and chipotle sauce and sweet potato and chipotle dip.
There you go. Good.
That's
Good
from
call.
All that with a nice A&W root beer.
You can get
A&W
anything there.
serves all that, and they deliver it. What the fuck,
Yeah.
man?
Let's go Uber.
We
Let's go
we
Uber
get
Eat,
like
dude.
a hamburger and fries, cheeseburger, maybe bacon as an option.
I remember we used to have a stakeout nearby, and when that closed down, it crushed my soul because I was up at 3:00 in the morning and I could get a cheeseburger delivered to me in the middle of my hangover starting, and
Somebody around here was complaining the other day saying that Uber Eat is killing like the small restaurants, right? But the thing is, I've also noticed that all those great restaurants, we had steakhouse, we had like all type of variety, but everything turned into the pizza place. The
Yeah.
cookie cut pizza place. And it's like, obviously I'm gonna order from Uber Eat now. It's just like I don't just want to eat that type of like, very like half price type of pizza, or let's give me
Yeah,
something
no.
else. I miss those type of restaurant that you used to go and you had something different. Like
Mm.
we used to have like one of the big ones that we used to have here that was freaking awesome. It was Belgian people that came down here and they started their own franchise for burgers. So you knew you were going for like burgers that were going to be expensive, but dude, you were eating deluxe burgers with all type of fries, right? Oh, well, it was freaking awesome.
I like hamburgers a lot. It's like
Yeah.
it's like my comfort food.
Me too.
It's kind of it's like
That
one
and
of those
pasta.
things. Yeah, it's like one of those things. Pasta is not really a comfort food for me. It's kind of like it's like for me, it's like more if I just want to eat something that's gonna make me feel full, I'll do pasta. But like if I'm like feeling down, if I'm really depressed, you know what I mean? One of the things that will like fix it for at least a short period of time is like a Jack in the Box, double cheeseburger or something like that.
Burgers
so
are
weird.
it's freaking awesome.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So tell us about the inspiration of this project. Where did it come from?
Yeah, it came from reading too many comics as a child. In the UK, we had something called Marvel UK, and
Yes.
that's where Captain Britain was spawned. And within Captain
Miracle
Britain,
Man. But
had reprints of Fantastic Four and the Avengers and Steranko's Nick Fury, Agent of Shield. And
didn't you used to have your own even your own comic that we didn't have here? Made in the
yeah,
UK?
Captain
Yeah,
Britain
that-
was originally UK exclusive.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So those reprints, that they had a big effect on me artistically. Both the Buscema brothers, Joe Sinnott's inks, Steranko, the way he put things together. Later on, when I understood just what a genius Kirby was, he had a big influence on my art. So
that's obvious. Just so you know,
yeah.
you can see the Jack Kirby influence, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
But it's that whole sort of cosmic kind of richness that those guys used to put together. I just love that kind of out there stuff. I don't think I could ever draw a slice of life comic. I'd probably bore myself to tears. There's nothing wrong with a slice of life comic, but it's not for me. So I'm always looking for that kind of big thing to draw. But at the same time, Bronze Age storytelling was an absolute craft, and it was just so well put together. If you look at the way John Buscema used to put his characters down into the panels, even with a simple panel layout, he just made it so exciting to read, to jump from one panel to the next. And so that's where the inspiration for my art came from. And as far as the stories are concerned, again, those kind of Fantastic Four, cosmic stuff. I loved all that stuff, Avengers and what have you. And then Jim Starlin with Cosmic Cube and Thanos,
God, yes.
and all that stuff. And you kind of drive all that in. And then my interest in quantum physics, even only on a very casual way, but I'm really interested in that kind of stuff, and it all came together into this book. I had written a previous script which was again based around the things that I was talking about, but it was an homage to Judgment Day by Buscema and Lee, and that was one panel per page, but I felt that I really wanted to hit with my first book something a little bit more exciting, something that that I could test my storytelling out on. So I went with another character and came up with this script.
So exactly how much of this book are you shouldering? I'm assuming by your previous statements that you're not only the artist but the writer for this particular book.
Yeah.
So are you subbing out the inking and coloring duties?
No, I'm the whole art team. I wrote the story, but had a writer, Rick Hoskin, who I've worked with on Doctor Who, and we've done some other bits and pieces. He came in to do the dialogue for me to really, make it gleam. He also added in some story elements that, kind of changed it up. And I've got an editor that looks over the whole thing for me, Tim Quinn.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm the whole art team and the creative behind the whole thing. So
I don't want to step too hard on Drew's toes here. I know this is his show, but I'm really interested in something you just said.
go on.
You said you worked with someone on Doctor Who. Do you care to pontificate on that a little bit? Maybe flex a little bit.
Yeah, in the UK, we had a magazine for younger readers called Doctor Who Adventures, and it swapped to Panini as a publisher, who they effectively got the license from Marvel after Marvel UK went, a long time ago now in the 90s. And they've been doing Doctor Who magazines since. So I was doing Doctor Who Adventures magazine, the strip in there, for the Capaldi era, and then I think I did one with the latest Doctor in, and that was that must have been a couple of years ago now. Sorry,
the Lady Doctor.
Yeah, the Lady Doctor. Yeah, I did one spring special for her, but they've not that's not come back now. That's that's gone out of print. But I also did some stuff while I was with Panini. I did some stuff for Cartoon Network for the Ben 10 reboot. I did a magazine for that. And I was also on a book, Draw the Marvel Way, which is like an homage to the old How to Draw the Marvel Way book, but it was spread out over 100 issues every 2 weeks. And I did art tutorials on that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, that's phenomenal, man. That's quite a repertoire. For our American audience, when you hear the name Panini, you might be confused because here, when you think Panini, you think football cards, you think sports
Yeah.
cards. They kind of hold the market next to Topps as the top franchisee of the sports card market. And occasionally they'll introduce a comic book as a like side piece, but you don't get a whole lot of Panini publishing in comic book stores around here, at least in my area in the southeast.
No.
And over in the UK, I do know that they were more famous for their comic strips and their publication pressing because sports cards aren't really a thing over there.
No.
I mean, you guys have sports cards, but they're not anywhere near the fanaticism that we have over here. So
No,
Panini, it's the same company.
They do a Premier League, and they always do like the World Cup and the European Cup. But that's pretty much it. And they were doing original stories for Marvel before Disney bought Marvel.
Right.
So they were generating original content for, like Hulk and Spider-Man, Avengers, and that kind of stuff. But that's stopped now because everything has to be generated from the Marvel offices. No matter where they get their talent from, their talent is obviously international, but the actual content has to be generated from those offices. So now Panini literally just do reprint.
Right. Yeah.
So in fact, the only original artwork that they generated for Marvel over the last 5 years would be the artwork that I put into the Draw the Marvel Way book, and Mike Collins was on it as well. And that would have been the only original artwork that was overseen by Marvel since Disney bought them. Yeah.
Well, let's give your video a watch.
I actually have a new video.
Oh, where's that at? One of these?
No, I can give you the link.
All right, send me the link.
Okay.
Oh,
some nice singing going on there. Here it is. This is I was given some advice that maybe I should do a story trailer. So I went to Fiverr and got some voice actors to do the first 3 pages of the preview. So
I got you.
Shit, son.
That's kind of
high
cool.
production value.
Would you put it in the chat here? Where is it?
Yeah,
it's in the
private chat.
It's in the private
It's
chat.
in the StreamYard chat. Yeah.
All right, let me navigate to that.
So this is a bit of a premiere actually, because I've sent it to a couple of people to say, what do you think? So it's not necessarily the final cut, but
exclusive here on
exclusive.
I was sidetracked because I got an email saying that there's a book that I've been waiting for a long time available on eBay. Do you guys ever hear about the Legion of Night by Gerber and Portasio?
20 billion years ago, as the Second Age gave way to the Third, one last great war raged between Satana's forces of cruel chaos, who had ruled for a sliver of eternity, and the forces of order, who sought to remake things anew. The Supreme called her warlords the Pillars of Creation. Their purpose was not to bring apocalypse, but to welcome forth the new age. Over time, their true purpose would be forgotten, for such is the fate of legends, and only their names would be remembered. War, famine, pestilence, and death. Damn, I love demons.
Wretched things. You preach to the converted, brother. Their vile number seems limitless. 6,666 by my count.
They have numbers, aye, but their arrogance will yet be their undoing. Mark my words, brothers.
You speak true, Sister Pestilence. Even now, our mistress builds a prison to house them. A prison of love. She asks only that we lead them there. This is the word.
Then let us draw succor from it.
And thus it came to pass that the third age began with the vanquishing of evil and the renewal of life. But evil is patient. It clings to the dark places and waits for its moment to strike.
We shall know glory this day, my brothers.
What was won that day was a battle, not the war. That would come later.
Oh shit! The renewal of life, led by Pat. That's fantastic.
Action and adventure, like comics used to be. Be it Death's Side. Sign up exclusively at Indiegogo, for only death can save us.
So we need to get this link into the chat for some people here.
Yes.
What's your favorite part about this project so far, Russ?
Oh, my favorite part about this project so far is being completely autonomous. Not having to work for anyone else, not having to meet somebody else's story dictates, and coming up with the whole concept on my own. It's that whole autonomous aspect of it. So being completely independent. That's the best bit.
Sweet. So we just wanted to shout out. We got VIP in the house. We got who else is hanging out? If you're hanging out, sound off so we can say hi.
VIP, we got Hex Allen.
Yeah,
Hi,
good.
Hex.
All right, so only death can save us. This is a real interesting concept. I love the artwork. The idea is pretty solid. The writing is fun. The artwork is fun. The story it seems like I'm looking here. It's got that violent feel, but there's no like violence really. Like you were saying, it's more action versus violence. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
the A-Team. Yeah.
Well, being able to depict a war without the blood and gore, so to speak, like, you don't have to have a page splashed with guts and gore to tell your story, and that's almost like Will Smith not having to swear to sell rap records.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great. I'll take that as an analogy. Yeah, thanks. Is if you want to see, here's the center spread.
Did you share a page? All right, there we go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man.
So that's what's going on. That's the very center spread. That's where the big bad. They finally get together, the whole gang kind of thing, and that's where it all kicks off. So
I love your art style. Like this is beautiful work. Like even in black and white. Like if this book had not a single drop of color, it would still be phenomenal.
My aim what I'd really like to do, and this probably sounds a little self-indulgent, but I would love it to happen, is if I can get all 4 books in the arc done, get enough people to follow me and want to buy it and be an audience, and then I'll produce a black and white only in hardback of all 4 books.
Mhm.
So you know there's the option for you to have both. So
Yep.
That's very cool. I'm always jealous of the illustrators, man, because I have to hire somebody to draw for me, and this work is great.
Thank you.
See, some of the things that like I look at when I look at work and I study it are like proportions and like an anatomy attention. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like some people don't pay attention to where the muscles are. You know what I mean? On a real human being. You know what I mean? Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they'll make stuff they'll just like, well, this is kind of cool there. You know what I mean? Without thinking about what it might be doing in the big picture of things. You know what I mean? I don't see too much waste in your illustrations.
Thank you.
And
That
there are no bobbleheads either on the page, and that's also a thing to think about. Like
bobbleheads.
a lot of times you get those tiny bodies with the really big heads, just to accentuate the facial features and whatnot. Like they'll upsize it like 5% or whatever, and it looks fine when you've been staring at it for 20 hours. But when you're opening a book for the first time, it's just like, oh, okay, this guy has a giant head.
Yeah. Yeah. Often that's a I think from what I can tell, from what I look at, that's a side effect of people working digitally, and maybe moving in too close. Something that I try to do with my work is I try to approach it from a very traditional perspective. The digital aspect is simply, it's just a tool. So my layers are no different to me taking photocopies and laying them down on my light box. I don't use I don't have a problem with people using 3D models. That's fine. You want to do it, off you go. If you can make a great story out of it, that's cool. Personally, I'm never going to do it because I want to draw in the way that my heroes drew. And it doesn't matter that I'm using a digital tool, I can still draw in that way. So that's what I try to apply. So
that's one thing that's different in a lot of, I don't know, okay, like when I study comics, this is the kind of stuff that I notice, a perspective use, right? Like in most of the comics that I grew up on, and some of the best ones I like today, the perspective is usually what you would think of as standard camera angle. They have different cuts, different tight shots, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? As a storyboarder, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Russ.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, there's a dramatic angle thrown in. What you see in a lot of what I see in a lot of like current time comics is more dramatic angles to try and make it more entertaining. You know what I mean? Versus having the story be entertaining and then use the dramatic angles for the occasional extra punch or emphasis. It's really, that's why they'll like exaggerate characters. They'll, you know what I mean? That, sometimes they'll make things like I noticed like with the cartoons, they'll make cartoons sometimes just like loud and chattery and annoying on purpose because they think that appeals to children. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's not like they're doing what they like. It's like they're doing what they think someone else will like.
Yes. Yeah. So it's I think the industry suffers from a lack of passion, and it's not. This is the mainstream industry. I don't think it's because the individual creators don't have the passion. I think it's top down. I think there isn't the passion at the top level, corporate level, to create comics. It's all about lunchboxes and films and everything else than it is about comics. And you could say, well, surely Marvel used to be corporate back in the 60s. But it's like, yeah, they were corporate and their business was making comics. So from the top down, the passion came for making comics. So, you know, they're still corporate, but comics was their business, and that's why I think indie at the moment is where everything's at, because everybody's passionate about making comics, not about making films for Netflix or making, you know, whatever box sets. I'm not interested in this. If this went to a Saturday morning cartoon, wow, fantastic. But you know, that's not why I'm making a comic. I'm making a comic because I love comics and because I want to produce this kind of stuff. And hopefully, I mean, I've already got some audience, but you know, if I can create a bigger audience for it, then that's it. That's all I do for the rest of my life is keep creating this stuff for the audience that loves it. I'm not interested in what goes beyond that.
And one thing you touched on there, in today's era, I mean, Marvel is owned by Disney, DC is owned by AT&T. All of these indie publishers like IDW and Dark Horse are all trying to grab a piece of that market share. But with Disney and AT&T backing you, all of your merchandise is going to be in every Target and Walmart across the planet. Whereas back in the Bronze Age in the 60s and 70s, when you were reading these comics you were inspired by, you know, the only way to get a T-shirt was to save 12 UPCs from Marvel Comics and send them into Marvel directly with your order form for $25 to get a T-shirt or whatever.
Yeah,
so
that was it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and
merchandising was never the main
No.
goal. But nowadays, you make more money off the Spider-Man symbol on a T-shirt than you do on a
Exactly.
You're very right there, and it's really going to be interesting to see where the market for indie comics goes. You know what I mean? Because as the digital age grows, right, things change. You know what I mean? But as economic and you know, economic studies have shown, products don't go away. They just change in value and you know, like for instance, you can't buy an 8-track tape today for the same kind of value an 8-track tape would have been at the time on the market. You know what I mean?
Oh God, no! It's a specialty item now.
Yeah, an 8-track tape would cost 100 times as much now if you were, you know, just because they're not like set up to produce them. You know what I mean, on the mass scale. I mean, and for that alone, plus they're, you know, whether they're inconvenient or whatever, it's just more of a rare item. So it's like, you know, think of like what would it cost to have a Betamax right now? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like how much would it cost to get your favorite movie on Betamax without recording it yourself? You know what I mean? It would be very difficult.
Well, hell, how much would it cost to record a Betamax yourself? Really?
Wouldn't be cheap because you have to get the tape to record it on. And a Betamax for that matter.
Right, you have to get the likes.
But you know, okay, so without being as crazy, I mean, there's still cassette tapes are you know, not that popular because they wear out. It was the thing about cassette tapes that drove me the most nuts, and why everybody changed the CD. I think is because, you know, even though you had a real good warm sound off the analog tape, it stretched over time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it changed the speed of the song. So like if you had like a tape you played a lot, you know, you wore that shit out, and the songs would be like inconsistent and stuff. You know what I mean? And so you know, there's always a market for stuff. You know, like and then think about wax LPs, right? Everybody thought LPs were going to go away when the cassette tape came, right? Because nobody was buying them anymore. You know, very, very rarely. And then even more rare. And then the CD came out. They became even more rare. And then the CD has been out for so long. LPs came back with a vengeance. And now they're a collector's item. Now people are paying, you know, 5 times as much for an LP as they would have market value back in the day. You know what I mean?
Good point.
So if you really think about it, it's very likely that comics will come back in a whole lot of different ways. I actually like what Alterna's doing with the less expensive comic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to bring that even lower. You know what I mean? On a mass scale, so people wouldn't. I mean, because here's one of the things about comics that's very hindering is that it's like treated as a collectible now, right out the gate. You know what I mean?
Instead of a consumable.
instead of the consumable. And so people aren't rolling them up and putting them in their pockets. They aren't, you know what I mean? They aren't treated like that anymore, and they're not designed like that anymore. They're designed expensive on expensive paper with really high end printing. They're not just a nice 100-pound cover over a bunch of newsprint. You know what I mean?
Right. And 99 times out of 100, you get them in a bag and a board off the top. Like there's no just open shelf spinner rack anymore.
Right. And most of the people who buy comics, I would say at least half the people that buy comics want them that way because they buy them as collectibles. They buy them as the fading market, as the lost market. I mean, now again, of course, most of those people who are buying comics are buying old collectible comics. You know what I mean? So it's of course they're thinking that way. It just blows my mind how the future of this, where this might go, because as far as the existing LCSs, most of their business is exchanging old material. You know what I mean? I would say that like overall, all the LCSs, you know what I mean? I don't think the majority of their income is based on, I would, because they would definitely have been dead by now if their income was based on actual like DC and Marvel and Image comic releases.
Just to interject real quick, it's half and half. You're right on half the front. True traditional comic stores exist on selling back issues and key issues and stuff like that, trading and well, no, I'm making a point on that too. The traditional comic stores exist on selling valuable old comics, whereas most old school LCSs have converted into sports card and Magic the Gathering and Pokemon and snack food and energy drinks and pop figurines. They don't even care. Like most of them, my comic shop of 30 years stopped selling fucking comic books.
and not just that, you're also noticing one thing: Marvel and DC are pretty much like not investing much, as we can see in their like regular release.
Right.
But if you pay attention, they've been investing a whole bunch of freaking money in re-releasing all the old classic. So now you have all the Jack Kirby's, everything that was like hard to freaking find. Now you have those like deluxe edition, and they invested a whole bunch of money in there. That's where all the money's going.
And the DC essentials and all that stuff, the $1 and $2 reprints.
Oh yeah. Well, they're also. I mean, they've been. I've noticed, like when I go to Costco and whatnot, because they have the reach into these kind of places, that I'll see like the big anthology, thick, hardback books, and they're like really these super oversized, anthology books, and I can see why they're doing that, because obviously the comic books, is a consumable thing, but the hardback that can be just thrown, that can go into a more market. You know what I mean? You can have those, on shelves for a longer period of time. They're gonna, they're likely, people are likely to buy more.
Like Eric said, it goes, I buy them as collectible. I am guilty, but I don't let them sit in a box and go untouched. I collect them to read. Meanwhile, the point I was gonna say before when we were talking about it, it's me, like the way I see it is I buy them like they're like I consume like a novel or a movie.
Yeah.
But there's a chance that it might be a collectible.
Right.
And that's how I see them. Like if it's a hit, you might end up with something that's very valuable, but that never happens with a VHS really that much, or a movie, or a novel.
Well, who on the panel right now has children besides me?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I have 4.
So you and I are the market. Like anybody with children are the market for those anthology volumes, because imagine, Drew, you're walking through Costco, and you see, God, who is the name slips my mind, but the guy, when you think of Thor, you think of this guy.
Walt Simonson.
Yeah, Walt Simonson.
Walt Simonson.
You see an anthology of his Thor run, right?
Which I got.
That hits you right in the nostalgia, and you think, I have a son who's about 10 years old, and I bet he would love this, and I'd love reading it with him. And you pick that up, and that's the market now. Because
Mm.
new comics, who do they appeal to besides people that don't buy comics?
Yeah.
So it makes sense to have those volumes on shelves in mass market retail, like in bookstores and
Yeah.
in Costco's and in Walmarts and whatnot. But you go into a normal. There you go. That's right. That's right. And that's just ready and waiting for your kid to read when he's old enough.
Oh, dude, they're old enough. They're enjoying them right now. All my kids are between 11 and 18 now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's the
You
magic.
got
It's the
older
magic
kids.
time. So let me show you another one. Like I
The
also got
magic
this.
time.
Yeah.
Hey, it is, dude. Especially
Yeah.
that I got one of the girls that wants to be an artist, that wants to be a manga artist, and I have another one of the boys that's also talented. But look at what I got too here.
There you
Oh,
go. Oh,
man.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I
Yeah.
got also
The Kirby
this
influence.
little baby.
ah,
Ooh. Now, I don't even have that.
That if you're lucky to find it, dude, and you find it between like because right now they go between 100 and something. You
Yeah.
can find them between $50 and $100, but they come
Buy
with a
it.
freaking plate in it and it's signed.
Oh,
They're all signed.
yeah. That's
So
beautiful.
sorry.
You're good.
We talk about Walt Simonson and this shit happens. Sorry.
Yeah. You're good.
It's
You're
not
good.
just it's not just Meta Baron.
Yeah. But no, that's the market these days, though. Like the current market for comic books is your speculator who goes in and picks up one of every number one on the shelf, puts them in a bag and board, and never reads them. And the person who's desperately hanging on for comics to make a comeback with the few titles that they still read.
Yeah.
The guy that owns every run of Batman ever and is still collecting Batman, even though he doesn't read it anymore because he's so disgusted with it. And then your average comic fan who's just collecting back issues of stuff they love because new comics don't appeal to them. Okay, you can stop flexing now.
That's not flexing. That's
You're
something that
married.
I'm taking advantage of showing because most people don't know about this. That's the
Oh,
last
yeah.
Jack Kirby creation that he owned. That and Captain Valiant or something like that. He
Yeah.
created those are his two last creation.
And those weren't tied to any publisher
Nope.
specifically.
No, those were republished by Image.
How disgusting is it that the most valuable creations for these creators don't get any play because no main company owns them?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I mean,
I'm done. I'll shut up now.
there's a lot of negative aspects to the market. I mean, right now it's the closed door element is the worst part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I think about that. I mean, I think about how how they would rather publish a garbage story that is going to cost them a bunch of money. They might do 5 issues of it and then it's wasted, right? Because somebody twisted a pitch because they thought it was going to sync with a corporate seat. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Versus projects that are proven, existing projects that are out there. You know what I mean? They can go. I mean, think about it. If a publisher came to just about anybody out there who's got an existing indie project that's funded, maybe they're in their second or third, I mean, maybe not Cyberfrog, he's making so much money, you know what I mean? But like, let's say Monster MD or maybe Downcast or, you know what I mean? One of these guys that's, like less than $100,000,
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to, I'm sure any one of those guys would be like, okay, so let's set up a contract where you're guaranteed this much money and then this much if it sells more. And we're going to take what you're doing now and we're going to basically amplify the shit out of it because we have all this marketing ground already laid, you know what I mean? And all these resources that are accessible. It's like nobody would say no. I mean, maybe, Malin, because he's, he has like, he's making, $100,000 a year on the books. You know what I mean? It might be hard to get a company to do that right out the gate. But if that was something because here's the thing, it's like if you could have both the best of both worlds, why wouldn't you? Right?
Wasn't that the original goal of your boy Zach when he got into to producing Jawbreakers?
Yes, it was, and that's why
Um,
there was all kinds of problems.
And let me just give a shout out in the chat to Eric McIntyre, who's the real one. He shouted out Kanto, which I don't know how you guys feel about indie books in the mainstream, so to speak, but Kanto is what I like to call a diamond in the rough. It is a phenomenal book. I've reviewed the first 6 issues on my channel, and my co-host and I, Ayrton, we both loved it. Like it is a phenomenal book. It is elegantly crafted for something that's actually available in a store. So shout out to that guy. That's the only industry book that he still buys, is what his comment was. So I just wanted to acknowledge that because I can't chat through StreamYard.
And me, I'd just like to highlight one thing. We're getting close to an hour.
Yeah.
And
I was about ready to
Russ,
jump over
it's pretty late. It's getting pretty late for Russ, so I'm guessing
No problem. I'm going to hang around because I want to find out more about grave robbers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about time to switch over. It's about time to switch
Yep.
over. Yeah.
That's right.
But before we do that, I did want to go over his tiers really fast.
Hell yeah.
So people can
Yep.
get aware of this. Okay. So what we got here, we got the feature tier. This is a full print set and book. Now, obviously, that means that there's some prints down here where I didn't see big pictures
Yeah.
of the prints.
You get if you go down the bottom, there's stop there. Go back up. No, that's my Marvel work. Go up. That's the stretch goals. Up you go.
Okay, there we go.
So those are the stretch goals. So at the moment, that's one of the posters you'll get in that set. And then there's 4 A4 black and white prints. There they are. I'm waiting for Rob Willis's. He's told me it's coming. But obviously everybody knows that Rob Willis print will be superb. Renzo Rodriguez, Samrit Birdie, and Mike Emirates all have done fantastic work. They're all going to be coloured on the inside of the book, but they're available as black and white prints. If you want to buy yourself just a single book, you can add the Rob Willis print on as an add-on.
Excellent.
If you want that.
And then so that's basically $52 US.
Yeah.
And then a single graphic novel is about $26 US right now.
Yeah, I hit for 25, but when I pressed the button on £20, it was $25.
Yeah, well, rate of exchange, it's gonna fluctuate.
It's gonna fluctuate. So, but that's
Thanks, Obama.
Right, because Obama sets the rate of exchange. All right, so graphic novel back credit. So it's about $32 right there.
Yep.
So that's awesome. So backer credit, that's always really cool. And then we have the guest artist. Is the guest artist? Does it say?
That's the Mike Emmerich, Samrit Birdie prints.
Okay.
And the next one is the Renzo Rodriguez and Rob Willis. So you can get them all together. So if you just wanted those prints, then I do a 2-for-1. We save on the post and the book itself.
Right.
I do one where I do an A4 character sketch from one of the characters from the book. But if anybody gets that and they want something different, they just let me know. And then I do page art. So I've got 11 pages set out that I do mixed media, because I do digital work, but I also do traditional work. And so they become inked up A3 on Bristol board.
Okay.
And that comes with a book. And then this one, I threw this one in. You never know. It's everything. Basically, 2 books, 4 A4 prints, the A3 print, an A4 sketch, the Bristol board page art, and also a 50 by 50 centimeter canvas print of the cover artwork signed. So then that whole lot goes out. But you never know. I chucked it in there.
Yeah. Well, I wish your book was doing better. I mean, this looks like a gorgeous book, and I mean, you're like on your last 18 days. So if you're watching this and you haven't backed it yet, and you've already backed Captain Love, you might as well go and check it out.
Back Captain Love first. Yeah, fair enough.
I bagged the 2 copies of it.
See, there you go.
Thank
All right,
you.
everybody. We're going to jump over to Mike now and talk about some graveyard robbers, which is
It's not Mike, it's Mark.
Is it Mark? Did I say Mike?
Yeah, you keep saying Mike, it's Mark.
I'm
That's all
sorry.
right. I get Matt, I get Max, and I get Mike. All it's usually, it's within the first 4 guesses, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a little brain fried. I've been pushing it a little bit too hard for the last couple weeks. So
Yeah, that's
my
no
my
problem,
apologies, man.
That's no problem at all.
You're lucky I don't call you something worse. You know? All right.
Welcome
So
to
tell us
hell.
about you don't have a video. I don't see one. So
No, I don't. I don't.
So tell us about Graveyard Robbers. What and if you want to do a share screen or whatever, feel free to share your screen and we'll set that up.
Sounds good. All right. Yeah. So Graveyard. God, excuse
Yeah,
me.
you did it now.
Sorry, my fault.
I'm gonna start signing shit Mike now because of you, Drew.
Yeah. Right.
Gave the man a
Mike
complex.
Middleton. That's great. I don't know why I did that. Yeah. So Grave Robbers is a story about 3 bounty hunters, and they specialize in things that are, weird and supernatural, preternatural kind of things, while at the same time having strange and unusual abilities themselves. And in this particular story, they're following a trail of bodies across the Old West, and eventually landing in an old desert town in the middle of the Arizona territory. It takes place in about 1878, and they've been tracking this killer to collect this bounty. And when they get there, they find out that there's something really wrong in the town, and it just they walk into a bar and shit goes sideways pretty quick. So yeah, that's I can't go too much else into it without ruining the story, but Big Dick Murphy is the main character. He's a Civil War veteran who headed out west after the end of the war. And after his wife and child are killed by a monster out in the wilderness, he hunts it down and is in the process cursed with a form of werewolfism, lycanthropy. So he kind of when he loses his temper or when he gets really angry or amped up, he can kind of wolf out. It's almost like a Hulk kind of thing, but with werewolves instead of turning into a giant green rage monster. And then we have Amanda.
Well, Big Dick Murphy.
What's that?
I said, yeah, you heard well. Big Dick
Oh,
Murphy.
yeah, man.
That is correct.
So, yeah, then we have Amanda Lynn. That's the female character. I can actually screen share the cover. And that'll I think it's this one. So you can get a better idea of the characters. So we have Big Dick Murphy here in the middle, and then Amanda Lynn over here. And she is she's kind of an orphan, and she's kind of lost in her search for her parents and stuff like that, when she was really young. But essentially her backstory is that she's was born with a demonic curse that kind of manipulated her body. So she has these claws and she has these razor sharp teeth. She has the ability to teleport around and stuff. And then Waylon Louder, we have
Waylon Louder. That's brilliant.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's kind of I don't know if you guys watch Firefly or not, but he's kind of like my Jane Cobb from that show. In a lot of ways, he doesn't look it because he's kind of an old man, but he's definitely a cutthroat and kind of a thief. But he is actually at the beginning of this story. I think he's going to be close to 100 years old in the 1860s or 50s. I think, I can't remember. I'd have to look, but he was basically cursed with an Indian, like an Apache curse, where his body, all of the moisture dries out from his body, leaving him kind of mummified. So he's always in pain. And when Big Dick Murphy actually found him, he was going to collect a bounty on him because he was terrifying the townspeople, because he was just they thought he was a desert ghost because he was just screaming in the desert in pain because his body was so shriveled and desiccated.
Maybe don't hang out in the desert. Or get
Yeah,
that
well,
dry,
you know,
don't get
you'd think.
moisturize. Come on.
He only he agreed to go with Big Dick only because Big Dick agreed to find a way to kill him. So that's why he follows Big Dick around.
He
That-
follows
that's
the big dick around.
Yep. So
So Waylon Louder follows the big dick around.
he does. Yeah. With a mandolin.
Don't we all, in the grand scheme of things, Drew? I mean, I am here on your show.
But yeah, it's going to be a great book. I've got some more art that I can share with you guys. This is page 11. We've got a handful of pages completed. We're still kind of getting everything put together, but this is one of the pages that we've got. I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little better. But we've got, Big Dick starting to wolf out. He's got the claws starting to come. His ears are kind of pointing out. And, we got a little bit of a fang. And, she's starting to get her teleport thing going. You can kind of see, her claws here. And, we see her poof behind a guy and take him out. And then, we got Waylon throwing a knife while at the same time getting his hand blown off. But we got a Big Dick getting a couple of holes through him. So yeah, he passion for drawing is the guy behind these particular set of pencils. He's done a really, really good job. We've got, I think we've drawn out so far about 20 pages we've got planned, and every time he sits and puts his pen down, it ends up looking better and better. So yeah, I mean, it's incredible. He's done an incredible job. And Eugene Bative, the guy who did the colors on Magic Cop, is going to be doing the colors. He did the colors for this as well. And he's just done a killer job. I mean, the purples on this page just pop out. It's the blood is amazing. He's done a really great job.
Great work with highlighting too. Like, that's one thing that a lot of people just ignore when they're observing colors, but highlighting is so important, especially when it comes to these deep, rich colors. It just makes them shine just right off the page.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, he's got these little flecks of blue and these really bright purples in the cloud here, and then we see the highlights in here and on the I'll zoom into this knife down here. But I mean, he's got this blue on this knife to give it some action, and it looks fantastic. And then he's got these brilliant oranges and yellows with the fire. I mean, he's really done a hell of a job. And the rest of the book's going to look fantastic. When he's done, when with Passion's pencils and his colors, it's just going to look phenomenal. We've also got this. This is by Doodle Bags.
Cool.
Yeah, this is a trading card that we're going to be doing. We're going to be giving it away to anybody that signs up on the mailing list. So if you sign up before we launch, you're going to get one of these for free. So yeah, free Big Dick Murphy trading card with every purchase of email sign up.
Just drop the last 3 words off of there and you'll make $1 million. Murphy trading card goes from that statement. Everyone on Twitter will sign up immediately.
Yeah, that's what I should start tweeting out. I should just start tweeting out free Big Dick with every purchase.
Free Big Dick.
There you go. Free Big Dick. Yeah.
Oh man,
that'll probably take off as a hashtag. Just saying.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
People be thinking about okay, is that like a free item, or are they trying to free Big Dick?
That's
right. Is he in jail? Is that a sequel idea? I mean, we don't know.
Whip it the fuck out.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing that now. I'm gonna write that down. Hashtag.
Yeah. Hashtag free Big Dick.
I'll collect my 50% royalties after the show.
There you go. All right, so I got 2 more pieces that I can show. This is something that I sent out to the mailing list last Friday.
Cool.
This is a buy exclusive for the first 2 weeks. Anybody who buys the book will get this trading card. This is a secret character called the Rotting Golem. As you can see, he starts to kind of fall apart. There's different pieces and different levels of decomposition. All these fingers are different. We got a bracelet here from a woman's hand. Different jaw.
As you can see, he's rotting and a golem.
That's true. Hence the name, the Rotting Golem. I'm very good with names. Very good with names. So, yeah, no, he's. I can't go too much into how he plays into the story, but he is a secret character that's going to be pretty prevalent at the end of the book, and then in subsequent books. This particular piece was done by Joe Ball. Did an incredible job, especially, you look at the moon, and it's incredible. Both of these pieces, the last one and this one included, were done by Eugene. He's done a really, really incredible job. They both did a fantastic job putting this together. It's just beautiful. But yeah, this is going to come, like I said, with every purchase of the book within the first 2 weeks. So if you sign up and you buy in the first 2 weeks, you get 2 free trading cards right off the bat. With every purchase of a book. So we'll move on to the next one, which is something that was done by Preston Acevedo, and
lovely,
just gorgeous. He showed me the raw pencils for this, and I was blown away. And then he showed me the finish, and I was just shocked with how good this was. It's absolutely stunning. He did an incredible job. We don't have the colors for this one yet.
It doesn't need it to be glorious.
Yeah, there's been a few people who've mentioned that to me, that it doesn't really need it, but it's it really is a fantastic piece of work. He did an incredible job.
Can you tell us anything about this character?
Yeah, this is the same character from this right here. This is her. Whoa.
Okay, that's the teleporter. So she's Native American with witch doctor powers.
She's kind of not really witch doctor powers. This is kind of like a throwback. She was an orphan. She was orphaned as a child, and when she was raised, she was initially raised in a small town, but they chased her out, and a Native American tribe took her in. And so she has this massive, Native American influence from them. But she doesn't really have, there's not.
She doesn't have the heritage or the bloodline or any of that stuff.
Right.
So you're the first indie creator I can ask this question to in good faith. Why the orphan trope with superheroes or main characters?
Well, the two of my characters, 2 of the 3 of them aren't orphans. With her, it was just I couldn't see a way around I couldn't imagine a woman giving birth to a baby with claws and sharp teeth and red eyes. Okay. Without it wasn't both of her parents. Her mother's still alive, but her dad is dead. Not getting into too much backstory, but essentially, she was just, her mom was so disgusted and horrified by the sight of her that, she couldn't take it and left her at an orphanage.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
Yep. Yeah. So it's not terribly, it's not like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make an orphan. But yeah.
Got to do Batman here.
Exactly. I'm not trying to create a new Batman or whatever, but yeah, I still think she's pretty cool either way. So.
No, definitely, and I do like the to use a turn of phrase from Boondock Saints, the symbology here.
Yeah, the symbology. Man, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I gotta sit and watch that sometime.
I've never seen that one yet.
You never seen that one? That's a pretty solid movie. Sequel wasn't that great, but the first
symbolism. The word you're looking for is symbolism.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe plays a gay FBI agent who also cross dresses.
Okay, you sold it. Got it.
It's pretty hilarious.
That's all I needed to hear.
It's pretty hilarious. It's really good.
Yeah, he uses the F slur when talking to a gay lover.
Yeah, I forgot about that scene.
You just
I
wanted
just
to
wanted to
cuddle.
cuddle.
What a F slur.
Oh my god, that's such a classic movie, man. That's such a great one. Yeah, I gotta sit down and watch that this week.
Sorry for
I'm
derailing.
gonna watch it.
I had
No,
to,
no, no, it's cool,
had to
man.
get the symbology joke in there, and then
Exactly.
it just derailed.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. But yeah, that's the majority art that I have to show.
Okay.
We're launching on November 20th is the plan. We're looking at fulfilling probably in May.
We're launching a book that has Native American influence this close to Thanksgiving.
Yep. The week before Thanksgiving. Yeah. It is the
You
Friday
know?
before Thanksgiving.
It was Thanksgiving here already.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that. Somebody tweeted something out about that.
Yeah, me.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thanksgiving. See, Canada can't even
I'm
be
like,
original. Can you?
I
Like,
think
come
there's
up with
like
your
4
own one?
Well, no,
Canadians there.
Canada has Thanksgiving's Day on the same day that America has
Columbus
Indigenous
Day.
Peoples Day.
It's Columbus Day. Get it right.
Yeah. No, they call it Indigenous Peoples Day on Twitter. What are you saying, bigot?
I have revealed that's the church. It's the church of SJWism.
Oh
Fuck
no!
it.
Pick it.
Our reputation's ruined. We can't vote for Trump now.
Fuck it. It's your own fault for leaving Europe. What's wrong with
I've got to move to Canada.
you? I've already signed up for this book, by the way. This is
Oh,
cool.
right on.
Yeah, and something I did notice was, I mean, it all looks great, but something that stuck out on that cover, just for the eye that I was looking at, it was the design on your logo. Who did that? That's glorious.
Oh yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, Nicole Sepita. I think she goes by Das Nomo on Twitter. She did a hell of a job. Honestly, it was worth every penny. I mean, she was really great about it, and she gave me a couple of drawings for it. And I mean, she showed me this one with the skull, and my jaw just dropped. I mean, it was really, really good. Pretty much, I think within the first couple of weeks when I announced the campaign, was live on, for signups, I think the first probably 25 or 50 signups were purely because of the logo.
Yeah,
I like the fact that the bottom of the jaw there looks like another head upside down.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh yeah,
Like it's the Pringle guy with a makeup,
And
it's very cool.
I'll
Very
give
strong.
a little inside baseball here. I've been a graphic designer primarily working with company logos and logo types and building them and trying to understand the meaning behind logos and whatnot. And this is strong work. Like this is professional level work. Like if she didn't go to art school to learn how to do this, you have a progeny that you've
Really?
worked with.
She was really good. I mean, the thing is the other one we talked about was like two zombie hands that were going to be like clutching it with the fingers going over the G, the R, the E, and the S. Like holding it like that.
You never want anything that obstructs the logo type. That's one of the rules of design.
Well, she drew something up that, I mean, it still looked really good, and I just remember thinking like, it was like it was a hard pick between the two of them because one of them looked really good, and then the other one was just like light years ahead of anything that I'd seen. It's actually really funny.
The words that don't superimpose the head, like it's so hard not to use like the same elements in the logo type and the graphic face. But because of the way this image is created, you can use both pieces independently. This is professional level work. Like this is $1,000 logo, dude.
I did not pay that for that, so don't go putting ideas in her head.
Well, you didn't pay it, but everybody that pays her from here on out should have to.
Yeah, man, she's really good. She's really good. I mean, I've seen some of the other stuff that she's done, and it's really good. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
I was really lucky to find her. She just suggested to me, and I just, it was worth every penny. Like I said, I mean, it's actually really funny because I had originally drawn a logo, and I'm not much of an artist. I'm not, you know, at best I'm okay, and at worst it's like a kid drew it. But I drew out this logo.
It looked like garbage.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, that's basically what it was. Well, I drew out this logo, and I'm sitting and I'm looking at it like, man, this isn't bad. I kind of like this. I really like this. And I show it. I'm talking to Passion for Drawing, and he's like, well, show me what you got. So like a dumbass, I'm sitting here all proud and shit, and I put it up on the screen, and he just kind of
That's straight garbage, dog.
He doesn't respond. He didn't say a word. He's like, are you sure? I was like, what, is it bad? He's like, well, let's talk to somebody. It's like, all right, well, I guess that's pretty bad.
Just a quick free lesson for everybody in the chat and everybody viewing this on the replay. Let's just break down the components of this logo real quick. You have the skull, you have the typeset, you have the blood drops, the bullet holes, and filigree. Okay? Now, the thing about the skull is that it not only dictates that you have a supernatural / undead element to your book. Before I even read the words, I see a skull and I'm like, okay, zombies, skeletons, like supernatural. Then you look at the typeset and you've got a Western-based typeset that is superset into a logo type with the increased size of the R and the S. Now, the reason that that's important is if you look closely, the same thing is done for the word grave on a smaller level, which gives symmetry to the design and the importance of the word. So both words are equally as important. It's not just grave robbers, it's grave robbers. You have the bullet holes that tell you a story. Okay, this is a Western story. You look at the typeset, it's a Western typeset. The bullet holes and the blood drops tell you that this can be a violent story. There's struggle within the story. And then the filigree on the outside gives you a blood red excitement that ties in with the overall typeface and the coloring that isn't depicted on the skull. Now, the only thing that I might critique and do differently in a second round of revisions is go through and add spot red to the face paint on the skull. But that is literally the only critique that I can find in this logo, and I wouldn't even call that a critique because it allows the logo to be created in a one-color white-black version. So,
Oh yeah, man.
But yeah, that's just a little bit of inside baseball for anybody in the chat. Like there's some serious thought and there's some serious effort that's gone into this, and that's from somebody with 16 years in the field. Like if this girl like hasn't been doing that long or hasn't charged hundreds of dollars for this logo, like you lucked out on somebody that's this talented on your your initial round of tryouts.
I really did, man. She's fantastic. I could not recommend her more highly to anybody else. If you're looking for somebody to do a logo, I would definitely suggest her. Nicole Sepita. She's really good. She's incredible. Incredible.
Oh, excuse me. Scratch that. She did actually, the red is in the base of the skull in the middle. And
right.
the bottom jaw, I didn't recognize that. I would have added a little more, like the little hearts underneath the filigree on the cheekbones. And possibly the 2 dots at the top, but yeah.
Oh, I assumed you were talking about the 2 dots at the top. That's what I thought you meant. But yeah. She did a great job. She did a great job.
I'll stop lamenting on the logo now so that we can move on.
Behind the logo, there's a book. And the logo is to sell that book.
Hey, that's right.
Yeah.
And he's doing a damn good job of it. Like I'm just I don't know how many designer cucks there are out there that just look at stuff like this and fall in love with just the actual artistry that goes into it. But
I do. I used to do designs for giant logos.
Yeah,
it's one of the things that you look at it and you're like, like that's why I keep saying, like, to me, that's why I'm a big fan of Frazetta, right? To me, everything needs to tell a story. A logo needs to tell the story.
Right.
So
If you can't tell what this is about or what we do by the because that's usually what I deal with, right? Is company logos. Like I have to figure out how to tell people you're a lawn care business with a clean logo that doesn't have a lawnmower in it. You know. But that's I did actually create a gift logo for a customer that had some little lawnmower guy like running across the top of capital letters and shaving them down till they became lowercase letters in the image. But when you do that like on a T-shirt or on a baseball cap, like it doesn't work. So if you can tell a story with a logo like this one does, like this isn't the first volume of Grave Robbers, is it?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Oh, okay, it is.
Yeah, this is number one. This is the first grave robber story I've ever told.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I mean, just looking at this, if you've never seen Grave Robbers before, like I said earlier, just because of the elements that were put into this design, you know exactly what this book is offering you off the top, and that's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, man. She did an amazing job. I mean, every time that I look at it, that's what I think. Nicole did a hell of a job. I mean, I've seen some of the work that she's done on other projects, and I mean, she nails it. You know, she really works hard. She earns her money, man. I mean, she really needs to be out there more. You know, I'm surprised that she's not you know, a lot bigger than she is, but she's really good. She's really good.
Well, when your comic blows up and sells 1 million copies, she'll definitely get some notoriety.
Yeah, you heard it here first. 1 million copies.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. No, I hopefully, yeah. Let's say 1 million. Let's go with 1 million.
Million's
No,
good. Round number.
Yeah, it's got a lot of zeros to it. I like it. I like it. No, I'll be happy if it's successful. I'm planning on doing a second one in the middle of next year. I've got the first 5 scripts written for this already. I know Passion's looking at doing Doom Fate 2. I don't know exactly what his time frame is for that, but we've already talked and discussed a little bit, doing a part 2. This is going to be a 5-part series, but hopefully once I get all the kinks worked out, because this is my first campaign. Once I get all the kinks worked out and I get the fulfillment complete and everything like that, we can start talking a little bit more about part 2. But it's definitely been it's been a long road. I've been marketing this book for a little while now, trying to build an audience, but yeah, I think it's going to do pretty well.
Yeah, that's even the second mailing list.
Yeah, I'm on my second mailing list. I timed out the last mailing list.
Get them email addresses, dog.
Hell yeah, man.
Get them.
Got to. You got to. Yeah, I was reading through. I can't remember who put it out there, but there was a Google Docs thing about how to run a campaign and stuff like that. And they talk about the number you need to hit whatever you're looking to get.
That was Rob.
Okay.
Rob from trying to remember what's the name.
Rob Arnold.
The Replicator.
Yep.
Yeah, Replicator. Arnold.
Yeah.
I'll hold that till the end of the show, but I actually have a comment on the how to run a campaign bit. But let's move along with Grave Robbers.
Oh yeah. Well, it's I think it's going to be a fantastic book. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I've got lots of blood that I'm trying to pack into this book. I'm a fan of hyper violence. I really like the most recent Dread film. I like that level of just hyper violence.
So are we watching that tonight on my Discord?
What are we watching tomorrow night?
On Wednesday?
Are we watching Spawn tomorrow night?
I don't know. I don't know what one, but I think Spawn is like way freaking ahead.
Yeah, I think it was way ahead. I think it was
hit me with an invite to this Discord before we we get too far off
My
there.
Discord, it's on my bio on my description on my Twitter. You'll find it right there.
Oh, you're a brave man.
Dude, it's an open Discord, and I have that one room that's public and one room that's for people that we know, and that's pretty much it. And there's all the info for people that want to come in and publish stuff. So
Okay.
go nuts, visit. There's a CG area there, so you have like creator resource. You have all the promoters, their YouTube, their Twitters. I try to put the campaigns in there and try and keep like the shows that are coming live. I try to put them in there when I'm around and see them.
To go into to full Jim Crockett promotions mode, once you get done, ladies and gentlemen, with Only Death Can Save Us, some fantastic Bronze Age, non-violent but action-packed, beautiful comic adventures, then sink your teeth into the bloodiest of bloody grave robbers. Let's go. Let's get this read.
Get these 2 campaigns knocked out, man.
It's sushi. It's the perfect combination. Do it.
Hell yeah.
Anything else you want to say about grave robbers?
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. I can't wait to have it. What?
There you go.
Okay.
Is there a better endorsement than that?
Pick.
I've been waiting from it, and dude, the first time I talked with Mark and I heard, oh, here's Big Dick Murphy sold, because I knew right away, dude. I knew right away from looking at him, and you can tell Mark that I knew right away that he was a fucking werewolf. Just by looking at
Wasn't
him.
he a member of the St. Lunatics, Big Dick Murphy?
I don't know, but Sim just admitted to loving Big Dick. That's all I got.
No, Big Dick Murphy, get that right.
There you go.
It's one precise Big Dick.
That surname's important.
He just takes one big dick at a time.
There you go.
Oh, I have a nice little thing to show you after this, dude.
Oh shit, let's go!
Tales from the Napverse. This ongoing anthology collects short stories introducing characters within the Napverse and are all connected to the main series, Nat the Merc. This 64-plus page perfect bound anthology series collects short stories introducing Nat, Lawani, Rose, Zed, and other characters within the Napverse that you'll get to know and love in this prelude. This volume contains 2 previously published Nat stories, as well as the previously published Helena Rose stories, introducing you to those characters. In addition, you'll also be receiving 2 brand new stories by Simon Sim Paultier. Royal Rumble, colored by 7 Legions Michael Beacon. Also, Nat and Zed, colored by Spartan Scotsman of Xenotype. Arm up and fire off into the Natverse.
Shout out Spartan Scotsman. What?
Yeah. He's gonna be coloring the book, the story of Nat and Zed, and Beacon's doing the other one. Yeah. And the thing I'm gonna tell you right now is I'm already working on Tales from the Natverse 2, right? So check out this screen share for a sec.
Uh-oh. Another exclusive, ladies and gentlemen.
Exclusives.
What?
This is
Love
the
it.
this is the variant cover, and that's just.
Hit that button.
And by the way, thank you for
Sorry.
pointing out that pencil tool. I'm having really fun of it, penciling my stuff now before. So this is just a rough pencil, right? So you can see. But the thing is, I got the ink spot to do the color, but he's doing a paint over. So here's the first. He just sent me this.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. If I was
It's gonna be fully painted in a Frazetta way. Sorry. Go.
No, I was gonna say if Howie did the tower is how he's gonna do everything going forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be amazing because that's just top tier layering work.
Yeah, that's
And
fantastic.
yeah, and I can't wait to see the end result of it. To be honest.
That's so 2000 AD. I love it.
And here's the first cover of Not the Merc.
Just love it.
You want
Back
to
when
see
the
the
world
first
was
cover?
simple.
Yeah, yeah.
I got, I'm also working on the cover of #1 of Not the Merc.
Cool.
Oh shit,
man.
son.
And in there you
Yeah.
get a glimpse of something you haven't
Oh,
seen yet. I haven't shown
hey,
this yet. You see in the
Sim,
back?
let me throw this at you. I was about to give you shit because your last cover was almost fully inked, and I didn't see any of the blue pencil work. And I was gonna say, when you do pencils, you're supposed to do them in blue, even when you're on digital. And I see here, So,
Yeah. I
congratulations.
do my first rough, I put it in blue, then I do my pencil. That's pencil, if you can see. Then
I
after
do
that I would
everything
get,
in green, but I feel you.
but this is a thing that I haven't seen before, so don't ask question. But yeah.
Oh.
When I say there's everything in that universe, I mean it.
So that's a walking dildo.
Whatever pleases you, my
Stop!
brother.
Stop! Stop trying to spoil mine, yours, and Sim's collaboration,
You know,
where Voltron forms into the Church of Failure, but it's a giant dildo instead of a church.
the thing is, we take away from stories what we want, right? We each take away our own thing. So I don't want to ruin your experience. So
That's right. Like, you
so
don't
yeah,
know if
that's
it's a sword or a giant dildo he's drawing from his back, Drew. Calm down.
Drew. Just go back up for a little sec, because that's something that I put on the campaign yesterday. Because I always told people that if you bought when you bought the 2-pack, there was going to be a variant cover. So that's the variant cover, and Scottman it's coloring it right now. So when you
Nice.
when you buy anything that's like the $69 tier and up, right, the 2-pack, you get the regular exclusive cover to Indiegogo, and you get the variant and final cover, which is that one. And
But you get a first
anybody that
printing
back,
of the final cover.
mm-hmm, yep.
Anything following will just not be as sharp as the original, guys.
And the only other place you can have, it's 69. The tier 69 and up all come with 2 books, right? So you're getting 2 covers. And if you buy the sim pack at 55 to have the blood hunt, because if you're new to the thing to me, you're just discovering my stuff. There's an add-on there just for it. It's the only one that has the add-on. So if you want the variant
Okay.
cover, that's where you can get it. You can have it.
That's right.
Alright.
Let's go.
Right now, what I would like is at least before we end we go in demand and I go start fulfilling, because I'm guessing like there's 2 weeks left for the campaign, 2 weeks to set everything up, then order the prints. So when the prints are ordered, there's no more like stretch goals, right? Because it's not
Yeah.
fair for people that will be fulfilled. So I'm at least hoping to at least unlock the stickers.
Yeah.
So let's get me over that 7,500 at least.
We only need 3,000 more. Is that what you're telling me? We
Yeah.
need $3,046.
And one of the things that I've added in there,
$3,036, guys. That's not that much.
and remember that Bisley ink wash is available on there now. You have a Sim and Bisley box, and you get the original 11x17 ink wash. You get one original ink drawing by me, plus you get 2 copies of the book, the prints.
If somebody buys this, it'll only be $2,036 to unlock those stickers, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Do it.
Go ahead, Church.
No, that's all the hype I had. Let's go. I don't have time. I can't challenge somebody to beat me to do it on air, because that, we'll be here all night.
But like one of the things that we like is at least to break some of those stretch goals, because it's always fun to be able to give more extra stuff with the book, right? More bang for your
Yeah.
buck.
Well, I mean, it's always fun to open a comic book that you've been expecting and you're waiting to read, and just be greeted by like trading cards and stickers and bookmarks and prints and posters and all of the add-on stuff that these guys like go through so much and actually take money out of it. Because that's literally what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen. They're taking money out of their own pocket to give more to you when you buy these books. If you buy Captain Love, if you buy Only Death Can Save Us, if you buy fucking Grave Robbers, if you buy Tales from the Natverse, you're giving money to get more than what you paid for off the top, because these fine gentlemen on the stream here are dedicating their time and their energy and their talent to creating works, and then they're looking at ways to put the money that you put towards those books towards more stuff to give you. I mean, think about that for a minute. Who else does that? You don't get a free apple pie when you go to McDonald's unless they mess your order up.
Yeah,
And
You know,
right
I've
now,
never checked out. I've never checked out from the grocery store and been like, "Hey, it's your third time being here. Here, have a steak." No, I've never gotten a fucking stretch goal when I checked out at fucking Walmart.
Well, they do. I did get rewards at Starbucks.
Well,
one
that's
thing
just
I do
because
need to
credit
mention,
card.
though.
That's because you opened a line of credit and gave them your information to sell to China. Let's be real.
I just want to mention one thing.
I do have a Starbucks credit card. So.
Since there was a problem with Mailchimp, right? Till the end of the campaign, everybody that backs the book, right, the physical copy of the book, already start with a free trading card.
See,
Right.
you don't even have
So
you can not even have to lie and get in on a ground level that you weren't a part of. You see what
and the first one, and the first 100 backer of a physical book gets a free sketch card.
That's
Wait a
cool.
minute, what?
So there's
What, you need
27 left so far.
25 more people?
27, because there's
27.
there's two digital.
Oh, there's 27 places left to get a free sketch card.
Yep. So
One of a
as soon
kind?
like if you back the book right now, just at $25, right, you get the book, you get a sketch card, and you get a trading card.
See what I'm saying? Like, it's value. These people are giving you their hearts and souls.
And
That's
if
their
we pass the
books.
5,000,
All of
the
it,
7
tonight,
5,000,
at the
if we
highest
pass,
tiers.
yeah, and if you pass, when we pass the 7,500, we add 6 stickers of 6 a.m. knitter, because all 6 characters are stickers.
Yeah,
That's
if
awesome,
I
man.
if I can get up to 9K, I've got 6 a.m. Embroidered patch I want to give away.
Fucking A.
That'd be really cool, man.
Fucking A, yeah.
I love his work. It's just fantastic,
Yeah.
and I had to get him to do something.
I commissioned my avatar from him. That's what's on
I'm
the
a fan
screen
of his,
now.
dude.
Serious.
Wait,
seriously
you mean
good.
the white nipple we're looking at right now? You mean?
Look, if you had seen the torso, it actually has a Romans 9:10 get saved.
Oh, by the way, if you,
placard.
I don't
pretty
remember
good.
how long it is. If you guys are interested, but there's a second little video there. It's a fan that did a voiceover.
Oh, cool.
This one?
Let's go.
Yeah.
What? Sim, this one?
Yep.
Or-
There's only 2 videos. Okay.
TikTok,
yeah, okay,
TikTok.
YouTube, anytime.
Not my internet this time.
I'm a merc for hire. Some call me a rebel, a renegade. Both are accurate. I was illegally created in an experiment by aliens known as the engineers. I've been living the life of an outlaw since birth. The Federation wants me dead. So, we have to make money to stay alive and keep flying.
What's your ETA, Nut?
This is Bob, my father, and the droid who was once sent to eliminate me. Great guy. Made me the man I am today. Going in and about to bring the pain on anyone that stands in my way.
Oh, goodness, please be careful. We just got that ship.
Don't worry, Pops.
That's his faithful AI Poppycock.
Look, Tim, me and you are beefing now. I don't know if you know this, but me and you have a major beef now. I don't remember getting drunk and recording that for you. I did not consent to that being released as a video. But I'm pleasantly surprised with how it turned out.
Oh man.
Time for some love.
I love it when Drew sings.
Hi, my name is Drew Ish, and I'm the author of the Captain Love series. I want to tell you all about the second book, Rise of the Pirate King. Yeah, that's a thing. And in this book, you're going to get everything that you would expect from Captain Love. Yeah, you bet. And I'm blessed enough to be able to use an amazing creative team. If you know what I mean, if it feels like the universe is caving in and you need love to the rescue, and it seems like nothing will be right again, you need love to the rescue, Captain Love to the rescue. All right now. Now, Captain Love is a space trucker and a former war hero. There is even a legend that he may be immortal. He's accompanied by Spade, who's a living AI. Yes, I said immortal. As in, he cannot die. And it feels like the universe is caving in and you need love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. You need love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Oh yeah. In this book, you'll get space pirates, sexy girls and science monks. There'll be bar fights, space battles, and a lot of awesome junk. There's nudity and violence and swearing within, so this book is mature. That means it's not made for children. And you feel like the universe is caving in, there'll be love to the rescue.
I wish you guys could hear my
And
bad.
it seems like nothing will be right up there. There'll be love to the rescue. Captain 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 Love to the rescue.
Thank you for your time. Please back Captain Love and help me share this character with the whole world. And if you're not too busy, like and share this video and help me spread the love. Stay awesome.
Let's go! Let's get it!
Man.
That's brilliant. I absolutely love that. You don't get that with mainstream comics. Jeez.
No.
Superb.
Let's get a note. How many backers until we get an entire live stream where you only like sing your questions and responses with your guitar?
You know, I don't know if I want to put anybody through that.
I want to go through it.
You know, I would just like to get more backers and more people. I mean, obviously, you know, my numbers are low, and if you know, because my price point is low, because 107 backers, I really should be closer to 5K based on regular numbers. But because my book is US 15, and that's shipped, you know, shipping included. You know what I mean? It keeps my numbers low. So I would love to get more backers, get these numbers up. I mean,
you also had your executive tier before?
My first campaign, I had the executive producer tier, which included all the chapters. So anybody who backed that already backed chapter 2 on the first campaign. So so there's a lot more people that are, backing this book than, you know what I mean, than you see just here. However, I still would like to get that back account up to like,
They
300,
backed in
400,
on the other.
500. Yes, they did. I mean, I just would like to get these numbers up. You know what I mean? It's not, it doesn't go in my pocket. It just goes to pay for the, it makes it hurt less as as the series continues, because it's going to be a while before I'm not out of pocket on this thing.
So I can get chapter 1 and chapter 2, can I? If I back this?
Yeah, you can get chapter 1, chapter 2. You can even get volume.
Right there at the top,
1.
you got
Right.
Catch Me Up with chapter 1 and chapter 2, and volume 1, which gives you the origin story of the characters.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, and
Because it's my credit card day tomorrow, so
ah,
so I can
That's
now go
right.
and get. It's next month's budget, you see.
awesome.
And that
Yeah,
actually
and
goes
then-
back to goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like Drew is just kind of pointing out here, like he just said and admitted. So I'll put this out there. I would be willing to bet that 80% of indie creators on Indiegogo and Kickstarter come out of pocket to make their creations come to life.
Of course.
So when I said that they're not putting money in their pocket when they get your money,
Okay.
they're taking money out of their pocket
Let me-
because they got your money.
Okay. Let me just give an example to kind of like press on what you just said, right? Many people like the guys from Top Cow and all those people like just
Mhm.
calculate the price of it, the actual investment for one book. It's easily 10K for at
Yeah.
least a 24 like a floppy.
Right. Just to
So
get
and
on
that,
shelf.
yeah. And that we're talking regular pricing, right? So that's why,
Mhm.
like in the indie, there's cuts in the pay, there's this, there's that, there's this, but the production is always around 15K for at least a book. So
Yeah.
that's why we always say, like me and Ross, like we said the same thing on one show. It's like if like the little spot between 10 and 15, it's like a sweet spot to make sure
Mhm.
that we can continue doing this without
Right.
digging ourselves a hole, and hopefully we can build upon our fandom and keep on going, growing and growing and growing.
Right.
Yeah, well, like for me, the campaign model is actually more profitable as far as on the individual sale, because I can also offer trading cards and stuff in
Yep.
the sale. You know what I mean? So I actually make more per sale this way than like I would be like at a convention just moving books across the table, because
Right.
obviously because shipping, because you got to figure, okay, shipping is pretty much usually a third, if not more, of the numbers that are on a campaign. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And
Oh, yeah.
so if you think about how
You
all that
estimate $5 to
And-
files
$10 a
out,
book depending on your location.
Come on, we have
Right.
we have international reach also.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying on average, US only, like you can adjust for international and just let them know, hey, you're buying something that costs more to get to you. I'm sorry.
I do adjust for international. In fact, U.S. pricing is included in all my prices. So if you're in the United States, you don't pay more than what it says here. If you happen to be out of the United States, I deduct what the United States cost was from the UK cost, and then I charge the difference.
That's cool. That's great.
Yep. So, but even so, like I said, even with those like contingencies, you're still coming out of pocket to produce a book and give all these added bonuses.
Yeah, well, I
mean,
produced the
and
book
offer
first
something
before
like
before
well,
I start
and
a
offer-
campaign.
Go ahead.
Before I start
Sorry.
before I start a campaign, I make sure the book is done. So like there's no risk to the people, right? All I got to do is raise enough money to print it. You know what I mean? And then those people are
Right.
guaranteed their books. But that takes all the burden on me. So if I only make enough to print it and ship it out, you know what I mean? Then I make absolutely nothing on it. And then I got to produce the next book out of pocket as well. So that's
Mhm.
why it's like, okay, so why does it say 1,500 here? Because that's what it would cost, right, for me to print and send everything out. You know what I mean? With somewhat deducted for shipping, depending on how many books are made. You know what I mean? That was like a calculated number. So obviously I reached that point, right? But I'm a little over 1,000 past that, less than 15 past it, right? No, actually 15, a little bit past 15 past it, right? So like doubled, right, what the minimum was, right? But that doesn't go back to my pocket. That just goes
No.
back to either, to some of it shipping, but whatever the over on that goes right back to paying the debt that I already, incur that I carry on my credit card, because I already paid the illustrator. And then that credit card will be used to pay the illustrator for the next chapter. And then anything that comes in will be coming to pay down that debt on my credit card. If I get to the point where all the debt on the credit card is paid off, then guess what? Then I'm paying myself back the $15,000 that I invested of my savings.
Right.
Know what I mean? So it's
And
like
that's without even taking stretch goals into account, trading cards, pensions, any of
stretch
that
goals and
stuff.
everything, all those numbers are, so it's like I got a long ways to go before I am actually profiting on this thing.
But that's new business. You expect that whenever you
Mhm.
start a new business, you
Right.
expect to have that period where you're not making money.
Yeah,
but
any
you bel-
business is like it's called the 3-year
Yeah.
the 3-year plan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you
it's the same
believe in
thing
yourself.
restaurants say. Before you can feed yourself, like you've got to be in business for 3 years before you can feed yourself out of your own restaurant.
Right. But what's really important is that the people in the CG community understand that, those of us who are making books, even though some of us have jobs and some of us have good credit and we don't seem like we're hurting for money, like we're starving to death, you know what I mean? These projects do cost money, you know what I mean? And it hurts me less the more the campaign. And I know that sounds, I'm not a rich man. I am really not a rich man. I used to make a lot more money before, the world changes and, things happen. I've lost a few accounts and stuff like that I should have closed. You know what I mean? There's just all kinds of stuff going on, but by no means, you know what I mean, I'm a rich man. So this stuff does sting, but it's not going to stop me from doing it, because I do have credit and I am using it to make sure this stuff moves forward. So everybody's going to always get their books, just like always. I've started with nothing. I will keep going. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. It's like, I'm not the only one. It's not like a Drew sob story. I'm saying this so that you guys,
No, man.
so you guys understand this is where indie creators come from. You know what I mean? We
just goes
need
to
your support. We really need the support. We create these projects. We breathe life into these ideas so that there's something. And then if you want, I mean, you can be a part of the future of these things. You know what I mean?
And that just goes to put a pin in my point, though, is that even like, let's just take away all of your debt, all of your like, say you were breaking even on this book, you're still not putting a dime in your pocket.
Right.
These are passion projects. These are things that are created by people that love to make comics. These are not Tom King, Mr. Terrific, happy that his wife and kid died. And the thing that drives him is the guilt that he's happy about that. I mean, that's ridiculous. Okay? The thing that drives these people is the fact that they have stories they want to tell. They're not even putting a dime in their pocket for a lot of these projects. They're not your everyday, like, big time $100,000, $50,000 comic creators. These guys are putting books out for you guys $5,000 and $10,000 on their crowd funds. They're putting books and bonus material out for
And
under
delivering.
10K and delivering. I mean,
But
we
the
all
thing is,
saw what happened with Red Rooster.
Yeah.
We all saw what happens with these books that get delayed indefinitely or just never show up, and you can't go through Indiegogo. You have to go through a chargeback, and you can't really get your money back for 6 to 8 months, depending on when the chargeback falters through, and if Indiegogo doesn't contest it. And there's no guarantee on a delivery. So the people that are delivering for this kind of money, those are the stories you want to read. Those are the things that make a comic collector of 30 years feel good on the inside to support.
Yeah, no, that's what Sim was saying as well, is that our targets are modest. You're looking at I don't know, something like 6 billion people on the internet, and we're after an audience of 500 people.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah.
not after the world. We're just after an audience that's personal, that we can contribute to them and they can contribute to us. It's a two-way street, and that audience gains from what we're doing, and we gain from their enthusiasm for our books, and
Right.
and it means that we can continue doing that by that support. And we're really not looking for millions. You're only looking for a few hundred people, and you can continue to churn these stories out.
Yeah, honestly, I would like to get my books, profitable to a point to where I can have multiple books running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it being a little business. And if anybody knew me like really well, I even if I became a wealthy man, I would give a lot of it away. I don't look at money the same way that everybody does. I never had any intention of ever being like a rich man or having a mansion or anything like that in my life. So you know what I mean? So I would just reinvest the money and hire more
Yeah,
artists.
he already
You
spends
know
all
what I
his
mean?
money on his cats.
Yeah, I do spend a lot of my money on
That's
those
not the
cats.
rule, guys. Look, the cats are in charge. Don't piss them off.
Yeah, as you guys say that, I'm sitting here calming Pepper Potts down by massaging her paw so she'll leave me alone.
But
So-
don't forget, there's also people that we hire. Like I
Yeah.
might be like the writer and the artist on my book, but I'm hiring, like I'm paying colorists, I'm paying an
Yeah.
editor,
Paying
Yeah,
letterer.
the letterer. Yeah.
I pay. I have. I mean, the truth of the matter is, it's like the Captain Love has been successful. You know what I mean? It's definitely not a failure. And I have another comic series starting. Which you guys will start hearing more about as it gets closer to the end of the year. But it's going to be a completely separate series. It's going to be completely different than Love. I mean, completely different. And I wouldn't even have had been able to do that if I didn't have a market for Captain Love.
It's
And I
gonna be
wouldn't have
really different.
yeah.
It's gonna be a babe with a ponytail.
That's right.
Yeah,
and she's
not in space.
The book.
Sim actually knows what it is, so he's just.
I know. I'm just
y'all.
kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
he's just
I think at the 2-hour mark, that's probably a fantastic wrap up point. I just want to say in finality, all you need is love.
Yeah.
But then you need death to save you and bring love and life. And then you need to visit the grave robbers to bring death back to life. And then you need to join Tales of the Natverse to find out what happens later. So what you need to do is get a credit card out and go back all of these books independently at their highest tier. And then enjoy the rest of your life because, I mean, you completed everything that's going to be great about it. You just need to wait for it to read it. That's my final statement.
Church the hype man. Right on, brother. All right. So everybody, thank you for coming to Indie Comics Interviews. We love having you here. You can find us every week when we're able to actually make it. Sometimes there been the occasional week we don't, but basically we're here every week on Facebook / Indie Comics TV and on YouTube on my channel, The True Love. Basically, we love to have you here. We talk about comics and we highlight comic creators, and we talk about their books and we joke about farts and dick jokes and other silly, stupid shit.
Spotted dick.
There you go.
With custard.
With custard. With that, we're gonna end this series.